It's the most wonderful time of the year. Most wonderful time of the year, aka the time of the year where I rank all the movies that I watched this year, but only like kinda like asterisk little star there because I'm only ranking the movies that I watched in theaters this year, because if I ranked all the movies that I watched this year period, right now I'm sitting at 135 and that just feels blasphemous to do a video that long. But also so far I've seen 62 movies in theaters this year, so either way this is going to be a long video, so I hope you get cozy and strap in and we'll see how long this takes. I'm scared. Also I'm excited to do this, and then doubly I'm triple. And then number 3, once again I'm scared because I remember doing this video last year and that was the first time I did this video, but it just reminded me of like how much my memory is like terrible, because a lot of the movies that I was like ranking I fully just did not remember like a lot about it. 1, watching it, 2, anything about the movie itself. So we'll see what happens this year, but it's going to be a lot of me being like, so I did see this movie, but what was this movie? But anyway, let's just jump right in. Let's just jump right into the ranking.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Before we get into our tier ranking and like the tier list we have in question, our categories, and me explaining them, etc., etc., I do want to address the elephant in the room. If you've seen my video from last year, 2024 ranking movies video, I am wearing the same exact outfit. I've decided to make this a tradition, me wearing this like festive-y, holiday, wintry sweater. So, just wanted to address that. Also squeaky chair. I feel like my chair is just like squeaking a lot. Sorry about that. I just gotta adjust some things, put it to the side, you know, just a little housekeeping, if you will. Okay, so we're gonna start from the bottom and work our way up. So at the bottom is Leave Me Alone, I Never Want to See You Again, and that's for the movies I hated. I never want to see it again. Pretty clear cut there. Next up we have Mid, and I do mean that derogatorily. These were just simply for the movies that I didn't like. Not necessarily I hated them, but I just didn't like them. Would never want to see them again, really. But at the same time, it's like the kind of movie where maybe like if my friend was like, I really want to watch this movie, can we watch it? And I already know that I don't like that movie, I'd be like, okay. But then there are certain movies that I really, really don't like, you know, the ones that would go and leave me alone, that I hate, that if a friend was like, hey, let's watch this movie, I'd be like, please God, no, don't do that to me, please God, no. So yeah, Mid, and I do mean that derogatorily, is just for the movies I don't like, to keep it simple. Yeah. Next up we have Mid, but like in a good way, and those are for the movies that I liked, maybe like the middle of the road, just like okay type movies. Didn't love ya, didn't hate ya, you were simply just okay, you were mid, but like in a good way, a good kind of mid where it's like, oh, I kind of like, oh, I liked you, did not love you, but oh, I liked you, you know. Next up we have You Will Always Hold a Special Place in My Heart with 3 little emoticon hearts, and those are for the movies that I definitely loved. Like I definitely loved those movies from the moment I saw it. I was like, oh, and I love you, I absolutely adore you in a way. Movies I loved, which is kind of like similar to the next one that we'll see, the one at the top, which is Give This All the Accolades Now, but it's like slightly different and a very like, it's a very thin line between like Give This All the Accolades Now versus You Will Always Hold a Special Place in My Heart, and I'm gonna try to explain that line, but I feel like I'm gonna butcher it, but whatever. But Give This All the Accolades Now is for the movies that I was like truly like gobsmacked by. Like I didn't just love it, I'm like, you are like top tier, god tier. Different from You Always Hold a Special Place in My Heart, because I can recognize like some movies, like I love them, but like just generally speaking they're not like the best or whatever. Those like Give This All the Accolades Now is like the movies that are just like, I love you, also from like a technical type of standpoint and like a critic standpoint, which I kind of hate to like bring that into it, but like just for the vibes, because I'm also like an award season girly, whatever. I can see like you're not just like a perfect movie in that way because I love you, you're also just like technically like such a beautiful, cinematography is great, performances are awesome, direction is great, like blah blah blah. That's for Give This All the Accolades Now, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't make sense, but we're just gonna pretend it does. Now with that out of the way, probably explained horribly, but I digress and I'm sorry about it. We're gonna move into the ranking. We have all the movies down here. Also, if you like hear my like a little ASMR of me like scrolling and stuff, like me on my little touchpad, is that the word? Sure, whatever. Me like scrolling and such, sorry about it, but it's kind of cute little ASMR. What did you say? Yes, I say yes. For real this time, let's get into the ranking. First up, we have The Last Showgirl, Coppola. Also, I'm gonna try my hardest to kind of like give a briefing of like what these movies are about, but like I said, I have a terrible memory. I probably won't even know how to explain this. And then 2, I just am really bad at doing summaries just generally. Even something that I probably watched yesterday, I wouldn't be able to really summarize in a really succinct, nice way for you. But I'm going to try my hardest. But yeah, first up, we have The Last Showgirl, which is basically about like the showgirl show show in Vegas. This is gonna be like girl explaining movies bad, and I'll preface my sorries now. Sorry that I'm about to butcher all these summaries I'm about to say for all of these movies. Whoopsie. The Last Showgirl. It's basically like the Showgirl show in Vegas. It's closing down after like being around for I don't know how many years, but it was like a really long time like that show was going on. And it's like finally closing down, and we're kind of seeing like the last few weeks or like the last few shows that are happening, and we're seeing like some of the characters and like how they're like coping with that, and like where they're gonna do next, and like where they're gonna go after this show closes down. Specifically, we're following Pamela Anderson's character in this. She's like the oldest one that's like been there the longest, very most experienced, but also she's just like an older woman at this point. So it's like, oh, can she go to another like showgirl type of thing, or like what is she gonna do now that she's like quote unquote washed up and like too old to perform and like be like those younger girls and like the other type of shows that are like still out there. So it's kind of just like going through that, her like coping with this closing down and like what she's gonna do next. And it also kind of like showcases some of the other girls that we see. Let's get to my thoughts of this movie. I think I generally liked it, definitely didn't love her. There were a lot of like ways it kind of fell flat for me, if that makes sense. Like we didn't really tap enough into the characters enough for my taste. Like the characters were super interesting too, like not just Pamela Anderson, but Brenda Song's character, but Kiernan Shipka's character, who was like a Mormon or something, like ran away to Vegas and like became a showgirl, and like now she's like scared to like go home to her family because like, you know, she just lost her job. So she's like, oh, should I go back to my family? I'm like scared, and like she's like talking about that. Like there were like a lot of interesting characters in this, but we didn't really like tap into them enough, and I really didn't like that. Also just the plot in general, some parts just felt like we're just vibes. Where's the story? Where's like the, like I said, more character development, more learning about the characters, where we going in the story, blah blah blah. I think we could add some things to the script to like flesh it out a bit more, really make it a full story. And yeah, could have loved her. I didn't love her, but I did like her. So I think I'm gonna put it into mid, but like in a good way. Mid, but like in a good way. We could have done some more, but we didn't, and that's all I gotta say. Next up, we have One of Them Days, and this movie was so fun. Keke Palmer, charisma out of the wazoo. I never used that phrase before, but still, like, she's just the funniest person ever. She's so funny, so awesome, so hilarious. It's great. Even SZA, I was surprised. I'm like, oh my gosh, SZA's good at acting. I don't really know anything about SZA. I don't listen to her music. Maybe one day I'll fully tap in. I obviously know some songs. I think she's like generally like a good person. Like I feel like I see maybe like random news stuff about her, and like she's doing something fun and funny, and I'm like, that's cool. But yeah, I was like pleasantly surprised by her acting in this. It's like essentially one of those like takes place over the course of a day or like a certain set of hours type of movie. It's like these two girls, two roomies, two besties trying to scrounge money for their rent because like SZA's boyfriend like stole all their money, all their rent money, and now they're like, oh my god, we need to scramble to get the money for rent. 95% sure that's what that movie was about. But this one, you will always hold a special place in my heart. This was so fun. I want to watch it again. Bring back silly movies. Bring back silly movies that are just meant for a laugh, not to be serious, just to be silly fun times. Sue me, bring those movies back, please. Next up, we have The Room Next Door with Julianne Moore, pretty sure. Julianne Moore and Tilda Swinton. This one's about like a best friendship. There was like these two ladies, they were best friends, and they kind of like grew apart, but like one of the best friends, Tilda Swinton, she like got cancer or something, so like she's like dying now, and then the other best friend, Julianne Moore, is like starting to like, you know, connect with her now, like rekindling their friendship. And then Tilda Swinton's character is like, there's no hope for me, like I'm gonna die, can you like help me die? Basically, it's like assisted suicide situation. They go to this like house in the mountains. They're like in New York City. I think they could probably go somewhere upstate New York. They go up there, and then Tilda Swinton's character is like, I don't know which day I'm gonna want to do it, but like some point in this like week that we have this house, I'm going to take these pills, and then I'm going to pass away. Like it's Julianne Moore's character in one room, and then the room next door is Tilda Swinton's character, and she's like, when the door's closed, that's how you know that I died. Or maybe it's like when the door's open. No, I think it's when it's closed. When it's closed, that's how you know like I did it. Any other day, like if it's open, we're vibing. It hasn't happened yet. And yeah, that's that movie. Generally, I love the cinematography of this movie. I very much remember that. I love the cinematography, love the colors. It was such a beautiful movie. The story, the plot, like how I just explained that plot, I love that of it. Like the execution of it, I wasn't the biggest fan of that. So I think that's why it's going to go in mid, but like in a good way. And above The Last Showgirl, sure. why not? Next up, we have Hard Truths, which was, I remember watching this movie and then getting like the same vibe of like The Room Next Door. Like, good movie, but nothing like super phenomenal to really write home about. This movie is basically just about like an angry woman. She's just angry, mad at the world, mad at life, mad at her family. She's just an angry woman. Maybe she wasn't super valid in her reasons to be angry and be yelling and blah blah blah, but let women be angry. But let women be angry. Also, this movie did kind of like switch POVs and stuff, and we like followed different people in her family, which was really cool. So like the main lady, she was like the main character, but at the same time, like we weren't just following her, we followed like her sister, and then we followed like her sister's daughters, like her nieces, we followed them, and then we also followed her son, we also followed her husband at one point. I liked that. I liked like the mixing of POVs. Like we weren't just focused on her, Miss Angry Lady, we were like focusing kind of like a bit on everyone, and I did really like that. So let's rank her. It will also go into mid, but like in a good way, but actually it's gonna go above The Room Next Door. Next up, we have Better Man, and I do need to explain why I saw this movie, because this movie was nowhere near on my radar, but suddenly I saw an Io Debris, Instagram story post, and she was talking about, guys, go see this movie. This is so like weird and funny. Like basically Io Debris told me to go see this movie, and I listened to women. So specifically I listened to Black women. So this movie is basically just a biopic of the man, singer, Irish singer, British singer, I think he's just British singer Robbie Williams. I'm pretty sure Robbie Williams. I'm thinking Robin Williams. That's a whole different person. Robbie Williams. He was in a boy band, and it's basically it's a biopic of his life, but he's like a CGI monkey throughout this whole movie, and you would think that might feel offensive. No, it doesn't. Surprisingly enough, it doesn't at all. This movie was actually a fun time. I went into this movie blind, absolutely knew nothing about Robbie Williams. Do I know anything really about him now? No, in one ear, out the other, went over my head, basically. But still, at the same time, I had a fun time watching this. Also, it's a musical movie. Need to preface that for you, too. Lots of singing, but in the kind of way of, it's like, oh, this was good, though. Good little musical breaks of we're showing, oh, I was in a boy band, and here's me singing about me being in a boy band. But it's like he was in a boy band, then he got into, like, drugs and, like, alcohol and stuff, so then I think he was, like, kicked out of the band, or maybe the band disbanded. Like I said, watched a whole movie about Robbie Williams, but do I really know anything about Robbie Williams? No. Overall, I was like pleasantly surprised because, like I said, this movie was not on my radar at all. Io Debris' the one that told me to go see it, and I listened to women, so I did see it. Anyway, though, this will go into mid, but like in a good way. But like, oh my gosh, I actually don't know. I think there. I don't know. I'm just going with the gut. If we think too much, it's going to be too hard. Next up, I saw Companion with Sophie Thatcher. The other guy, I'm about to say Adam Brody. Him and Adam Brody are kind of the same person to me. Oh my gosh, what's this guy's name? His dad is like a really bad person. His dad is Dennis Quaid. His dad's Dennis Quaid, and this guy's name is Jack Quaid, Sophie Thatcher. This movie is basically he gets a robot girlfriend. The robot girlfriend in question is Sophie Thatcher, and things go awry from there. Also, she doesn't know that she's a robot, which makes it like really interesting too. Anyway, though, I think I did like this movie. It was fun and funny. I love like a horror comedy type vibe. It's not like the eerie type of horror, which I'm not the biggest fan of. It was definitely more like a thriller type horror, if that makes sense. I think I generally liked it. It didn't really do enough for me. I think I kind of remember that. Like, it didn't like punch just enough. Like, it was like right there. I feel like it was like scratching the surface to like being like something that's like, oh wait, this is actually like something huge. We're making a big commentary on something that's like very close to happening, like people getting robot girlfriends. I could see that happening a bit too soon, actually. But yeah, Sophie Thatcher is awesome in this. I want to talk about that for a second. She's great in this, and yeah, where's this gonna go? Me like trying to think of more things to say, but I can't, so let's just rank it. Actually, I think it's gonna go there. Actually, it's gonna go at the top. Yes, because this movie was fun. Actually, this movie was fun to watch, and I would watch it again. This is the kind of movie that I want to show friends. This is the kind of movie that I want to watch with friends. This is the kind of movie that I want to like experience the first time with someone, if that makes sense. Like, I've already seen it, but I want to tell somebody else to watch it and watch it with them and watch them experience this kind of vibe. This movie's that. It's like fun in that way. And that's all I need to say about it. Next up, we have a movie called Love Me with Steven Yeun and Kristen Stewart. And I remember I was so excited about this movie, like hearing or like reading like the little summary synopsis about this movie. I was like, oh my god, this sounds so good. It's basically like dystopian type of world. There's like no more human life on Earth, so like this like satellite and this buoy fall in love. That's what this movie's about. But this movie is actually terrible. I had really high hopes for that because that premise sounded so like weird and interesting to me. Like, oh, a satellite and a buoy fall in love, like these two like inanimate objects, but they both have like kind of like robot intelligence. Oh my gosh, going back to the little robots, they have like kind of like, I guess like an AI robot type intelligence. I'm not really good with technology, so that's probably not the right words for it, but I digress. They're definitely like sentient though, so maybe it is like kind of like AI robot-y, because like this buoy and this like satellite, like they're talking to each other. They're not just like saying like the typical like NPC type vibes, like they're having full conversations. Yeah, this movie sounded so cool and interesting. The execution was actually like one of the worst things ever, and it's really sad to misuse Kristen Stewart and misuse Steven Yeun's talent in that way. Don't go see this movie. Actually, go watch this movie with your friends and laugh your little hearts out, because that movie deserves it. Leave me alone. I never want to see you again. Like, the execution of this is so bad, and it makes me so sad because I had like such high expectations for it, and I really was excited to see it, but it was so bad. Anyway, next up is another bad movie, Love Hurts, with I'm gonna butcher his name and I'm so sorry about it, Quan. I don't know, but you know, Everything Everywhere at Once guy, the Goonies kid, whatever. Love him, he's awesome. Like how I said, Kristen Stewart and Steven Yeun's talents were misused for Love Me. Kwan's talents, I know I'm butchering his name, I'm really sorry about that. His talents were misused in this movie, in this freaking terrible movie. It's basically Valentine's Day. I think he used to be an assassin, but like he got out of the business and like now he's a realtor, but suddenly like his old past is like coming back to get him, and it's Valentine's Day, and yeah, that's that movie. And it's really bad. But the best part about it is Mr. Quan and his like fight scenes in this. Like, oh, that's probably the best part about this movie, like the fight sequences, specifically involving him. Yeah. Me thinking about it and being like, yeah, this movie, I remember being in that theater and truly wanting to walk out. Love Me was bad, but I didn't really get to the point of being like, I was like clawing at my seat, like I really want to get out of here. But Love Hurts, I was genuinely contemplating, like, I need to leave. I just need to leave. I can't believe I'm still here. I can't believe this movie's still going. I need to get out of here. But I didn't, because it feels wrong to like leave a movie halfway or like before it's over. For me personally, it feels wrong to do that. But this movie was so bad. This movie was really bad. But was it as bad as Love Me? I don't know. They're kind of battling out for bad right now, so I'm just gonna put it right next to each other. They feel the same to me. I don't really know how to think about that further. Next up, we're getting to the phase of movies where it was Oscar season, and then my Regal Theater, all Regal Theaters, probably just all theaters in general, AMC plus whatever movie theaters you go to, movie franchise you go to, was doing the reissuing of the Best Picture movies. And so these next 5 movies I'll be ranking are the Oscar Best Picture movies that I saw in theaters. Go watch my Oscar video 2025, watching all the Oscar Best Picture movies. Go watch that if you want to watch that. But anyway, we're gonna go into the ones I saw in theaters specifically, and first up is The Brutalist. It's a Brutalist. What do I have to say about The Brutalists? Really nothing. Mid, and I do mean that derogatorily. Definitely didn't hate it. I remember, like, I know when I hate a movie. Like I said, Love Me. Like I said, Love Hurts. Like, I came out of that movie theater hating those movies, hating my time there. I didn't come out of the movie theater hating having seen The Brutalist. Also, if you go watch my Oscar video movie, maybe I'm saying completely different things that I'm saying right now about the movie. Who knows? I don't, because my memory's terrible. But yeah, The Brutalist, I definitely didn't hate it. Definitely didn't like it, really. Would never watch it again. And yeah. Anyway, next up I saw Wicked, and if you know anything about me, I'm not a Wicked girl. I do not care about Wicked. I do not care about the Wicked hype. I never cared about the Wicked hype or like the Wicked, like anything really, whatever regarding it. So that's why it took me so long to watch Wicked. I waited until it was nominated for Best Picture to be like, okay, and now I have to go see you. And I'll do my due diligence as a fellow award season Oscar loving girly. I'll go see this, and honestly, I was pleasantly surprised watching Wicked. I didn't think I would hate it. I never thought I would necessarily hate the movie. I just didn't want to see it because everybody and their mother was talking about it, and I was just like, I don't care. I really don't care. But I will say I enjoyed this a lot. I was pleasantly surprised, and I do think Ariana Grande was snubbed at the Oscars this year, because I think she should have won, because her as Galenda was really, really good and awesome. Much better than freaking Zoe Saldana, bruh. I can't believe we let that happen. I really can't believe we allowed Emilia Perez to... I'm not even gonna talk about it. Anyway, Wicked will go into mid, but like in a good way, and she's gonna go at the top. Because even though I don't care about her, I can recognize that it's a good movie. Even though I don't care about the hype and all that stuff that surrounds it, it's a good movie. And the music's fun too. Next up was A Complete Unknown, and I did not like that movie. I did not like that movie. I did not like that movie theater experience. The theater was packed. I was packed in on both sides and scared the entire time next to these, like, people that definitely seemed like big Bob Dylan heads, and it was not a fun time for me personally. Anyway, though, my favorite part of this movie was Elle Fanning. She was my redeeming quality. She was my favorite girl, and I love that. And I will insert this, like, one, I think it was just like a Substack post by Caleb Heron and him talking about this movie. It's really funny. I'm gonna insert that, like, right over my face. Please enjoy reading that, because honestly, that's how I feel about this movie. Him saying that, I'm like, and yes, and I feel the same way. Nothing else to say about A Complete Unknown. Timothee Chalamet scares me, and he especially scares me now with Marty Supreme. You're not gonna see Marty Supreme on this list. Sorry about it. I'm sorry about it. I'm not sorry about it. Yeah, mid, and I do mean that derogatorily. Or Leave Me Alone, I Never Want to See You Again. But then I'm like, I can't put in Leave Me Alone, I Never Want to See You Again because Elle Fanning and I adore her. But at the same time, it's like, okay, but Kristen, Stewart, and Stephen Yeun are there, and Quan is there. So actually, yeah, we're gonna drop you down there. Anyway, next up I saw I'm Still Here, which was a really good time. Actually, no, the movie's depressing as heck, but it's such a good movie. Beautifully shot. The cinematography is so good. Fernanda Torres, so good. Like, oh my gosh, and such a sad movie. I remember I had, like, the worst seat ever. Actually, not the worst seat ever. There was a movie this year that I did have the worst seat ever, and we'll talk about that when we get there. I was, like, quite close to the screen in this movie. Not super duper close, but I was quite close. But that didn't really, like, ruin it for me. This movie was really good and really sad, like I've said many a times. But I don't know if it needs to go into, like, You Will Always Hold a Special Place in My Heart, though. I don't know. Because I don't think I really loved it. Honestly, it's just gonna go at the top of mid, but, like, in a good way. And we're giving that up. Next up is Nickel Boys, which was the last Oscar movie that I saw, Best Picture Oscar movie that I saw in the theaters for this year. I don't know how to explain it. I'm gonna go crazy. Okay, so Nickel Boys is basically these two boys. They're in this, like, juvie jail detention center situation, and it's racist, and they can't get out, and bad things happen here, basically. That's all you need to know about Nickel Boys. Anyway, how did I feel watching Nickel Boys? I felt sad and depressed. As a black person, I do hate watching movies centered around racism. Sorry to say it, sue me, but I, personally, I'm okay. Where I am currently in my life, I don't need to see all that. I'm okay. I don't need to see black trauma, personally. I don't need to watch those movies. No. Not saying don't make them. Do make those movies. Definitely make those movies. It's important stories to be shared. You need to keep making those stories. Those stories should not go unnoticed. Those movies should not go unnoticed. Like, we need to talk about that. But me personally, I don't need to be seated for that. Other people, you guys go be seated for that. Me, though, I'm gonna go over here and watch my silly fun one of them days. I'm gonna go watch one of them days and have a silly fun ha hee hee silly goofy time. But y'all, though, you should be watching that. You should be educating yourself. You should be, like, recognizing those stories. You should be giving those stories accolades. Like, you should. So yeah, when I finished watching Nickel Boys, I was, 1, sad, and 2, I was gobsmacked by the fact that this movie was not nominated for cinematography, because the cinematography of this was so freaking good. Where is this gonna go, though? So where's this gonna go? I think, here, sure, why not? Anyway, next up was Mickey 17. Woo! I loved Mickey 17, and so many people hated it, but I loved it. It was such a good time. It was kind of a feel-good movie, if you will. When, like, thinking about, like, the full scope of it, it was kind of a feel-good movie. What is this movie about? Bro, I don't even know how to explain Mickey 17, honestly. I don't know. It's really hard to explain Mickey 17. I don't remember the exactities of, like, what the context of this world is, I'll be honest there. But I know how Mickey 17 made me feel, and I know how I came out of the theater after watching Mickey 17, and I was smiling from ear to ear because this movie was so good and so fun, so silly even, but at the same time, like, such a good commentary on, like, classism and capitalism and all those things that Mr. Bong Joon-ho is always tapping into in his movies. Personally, I just love Mickey 17. Like, the score in this is perfect, the plot in this is perfect to me, the performance is so good, like, it just feels like such a well-rounded movie to me. Mickey 17 is going into give this all accolades now. Sorry about it. Fight me in the comments. Next up is Opus, and this is another one that a lot of people hated, but I generally liked Opus, and that's fully because of Miss Iowa Debris. Miss Iowa Debris. Oh my gosh, she's so good in this movie. It's so gorgeous. And like, oh my gosh, her hair in this movie, the outfits that she wears in this movie, like, wow. Also, her performance in this movie is also really awesome. Opus is basically, I can explain this one, I think. It's basically about this musician guy who like went out of the spotlight for many years. Suddenly he's coming back. Suddenly he has a new album coming out, but he's also a cult leader, question mark. And then Iowa Debris' character is like a journalist, and like she gets invited, or like her company gets invited, but it's specifically in the note, like in the invitation, he writes down her name specifically, and it's like, I want you to come to the compound, and like some other people from like the media world or just like the influencer celebrity world are invited to like his compound to like listen to his new album that's coming out. But also he's a cult leader, and also this is a cult, and also there's a bunch of other people here who are a part of the cult, and yeah, that's Opus. Terribly explained. But yeah, anyway though, a lot of people did hate this movie because of like it's plotless, it's like messy, it's stupid. Me personally, I didn't hate this that much. I like the general like story / plot, and I liked where we went for the most part. I didn't necessarily like hate the execution fully. I went into this movie expecting a good time, and honestly, I had a good time watching this. But where's this gonna go? Definitely mid, but like in a good way. Or you always suspicious my heart for Iowa Debris. We'll leave it in mid, but like in a good way. But at the tippy top of it, because deservedly so. Next up was a movie called The Assessment with Elizabeth Olsen and then this other guy whose name I am forgetting right now, but I saw him in some other things before. So essentially this movie is like another like dystopian world, like post, I don't know, humanity, but there is humanity, but it's just like we're in a really dystopian world, whatever. There's this couple, and they're like, the way to have babies these days, it's like you have to be approved to be able to have a baby in like this dystopian world. So like it's this couple, and they have to take this assessment to see if like they're approved for like having a baby. I think they just get a baby. Like nobody can be pregnant in this like world, and the only way that you can be given a baby is like through this like assessment thing. You have to like pass the assessment. So it's like this couple, Elizabeth Olsen and that guy that I was just talking about, it's them two as the couple, and then this woman comes, like she's like their home study person, like whatever, the assessment giver, and they have to like try to pass the assessment to be able to be given a baby. Essentially adoption. But super post-dystopian, weird assessment things that are happening in this movie type adoption, if that makes sense. It doesn't make sense, but whatever. I remember watching this movie, and the production design is so good. Like the set design in this, I adore it so much. That was like my favorite part of this movie. Also super interesting premise. Execution was a bit not terrible, but like the ending specifically, I'm like, I don't know if I really loved that. But generally I liked this movie. It was a nice like pleasant surprise. It was like me randomly scrolling my Regal app, me randomly seeing this movie and being like, this sounds interesting, like reading the synopsis. This sounds interesting, let me go see that. Saw it. That's that. This is another one that will be going in mid, but like in a good way, and right under Opus. That sounds like a right decision to make. Next up on the list is Death of a Unicorn. Jenna Ortega, Paul Rudd, Will Poulter, some other people that I can't think of right now, but they're in it too. This is another movie I kind of had high expectations for, and shame on me for having high expectations for, because this movie wasn't really like that good, honestly, kind of mid, and I kind of mean that derogatorily, I'm not even gonna lie. So essentially, I actually don't even know how to explain this movie. Daughter's Jenna Ortega, father's Paul Rudd. I think Paul Rudd's like a lawyer or something, and like he gets this like job to work for this family, and then they're going to where the family lives. They end up hitting a unicorn and killing a unicorn, and things go crazy from there. Sure, let's pretend that that's what that movie is about. I remember it being funny, which was nice. I think it was like kind of advertised as like more of like a scary, horror-ish type of movie, and there were some jump scares in this, but nothing like too crazy. But I think there were a lot of like gory moments. I'm like, whoa, I need to like literally look away. But generally like a scary, spooky feel, I don't know if it really had a lot of that. It was quite funny, and that's all I got. I'm gonna put this in mid, and I do mean that derogatorily. I remember like not... Once again, like I said, the expectations were high, and they were not met at all, and yeah. Next up was The Friend with Naomi Watts and Bill Murray. I was gonna say Bill Gates. Same person to me, honestly. He's also in this movie. It's basically about Naomi Watts' character is like friends with Bill Murray's character. He dies. He has like a dog though, and like he kind of leaves the dog to her, not necessarily. I think it's like left to like one of his wives. He said like many wives, and he like leaves it to one of his ex-wives or something. And then suddenly, Naomi Watts' character like gets the dog. So it's about like her and this dog. And honestly, wait, I'm like thinking about this movie, I'm like, yeah, her and the dog. It was so sweet. Actually, I think I liked this movie. At first I was like, wait, I don't remember this. But then I'm like, wait, the dog. Yes, the dog. And her relationship with the dog. So sweet. Yeah, okay. Okay. The friend is going up there. The friend is going here. Sure. Sure, why not? Next up I saw Hell of a Summer, which is Finn Wolfhard's directorial debut along with Billy Brick. It's either B-Y-R-K or B-R-Y-K. I can't think of it right now. But yeah, directorial debut. It's like a slasher movie, summer camp slasher movie. Who's killing the campers? Who knows? Wait, actually, it's not even the campers. This is like before full summer camp starts. And like, I think these guys are just like the camp counselors. And the camp counselors obviously show up before the actual campers come. Like a little orientation, getting the stuff set up, whatever. And it's like, oh, slasher movie. Who's killing the camp counselors? Ah, what's going on? This movie's so fun. This movie's so funny. I feel like a lot of people didn't end up seeing this, which is so sad. Go stream this if you can. It's silly and stupid and fun in all the best ways possible. Another like one of them days, like literally bring back silly goofy movies that are just for fun and silly and funny. Ugh, we need more of those. So yeah, I'm going to put this into You Always Hold Special Place in My Heart, but right under one of them days. Cool. Next up is Freaky Tales. Another like silly goofy feel good movie of the year for me personally. Remember I did a whole video about Freaky Tales. Go watch that if you want. I remember I also did a whole video about Hell of a Summer. Go watch that if you want too. But yeah, Freaky Tales, Pedro Pascal's in this, and some other people, but mainly Pedro Pascal's in this, and that was one of the main reasons that I wanted to see it personally. Honestly, Pedro Pascal's had a year with movies that he's been in, like Freaky Tales, and then I think Eddington came up next, or Materialist, one of the two, but Materialist, and I think there's one more that he was in this year that I'm like forgetting right now. Maybe it was just those three. Yeah, I think it was just those three. Crazy year. Good for you. 3 movies out in the year. Okay, and work actor. Okay, not out of work actor. Okay, working actor. Anyway though, Freaky Tales, feel good movie of the year. Love this movie. So wild and crazy and absolutely like none of this makes sense or like should make sense. And like all this is like, you have to suspend your reality of disbelief a lot in this movie, but it's in a good way and it's in a fun way. There's bad people in this movie, but they get what they deserve, and that's so awesome. So it's basically like a movie about like Nazis and like a lot of like racist, terrible people. And like it's like different POVs, like 3 different stories in this movie, but they all interconnect so seamlessly. Oh, it's so good. Go watch Freaky Tales. I didn't even explain that well, but just know Pedro Pascal's in it. Know it's a feel-good movie of the year. Know that the bad people get what they deserve. That's not even really a spoiler. That's just like general fun vibes. Go watch Freaky Tales and have a good time. Whoa! This will also go into You Always Hold a Special Place in My Heart, and honestly, above one of them days, because I'm thinking about like the 3-story aspect of this. Like there's 3 different stories in this movie, but they interconnect so seamlessly, and I freaking love that. I love when there's like a sort of like anthology, is that the word for it? Like Kinds of Kindness, like how that was like 3 different stories, but those were like very 3 different stories. This is like 3 different stories, but they all exist in the same world. It's cohesive and it works together, but not like so blatantly works together. Like they're definitely 3 distinct stories, but we can see how they interconnect and interweave, and it's so good. I love Freaky Tales. Next up was a movie called The Luckiest Man in America. Did you hear about this movie? Probably not, because I randomly heard about this movie. Anytime there's a movie that I only like randomly hear about, that's when I'm like, wait guys, did you also hear about this? Because I was just scrolling on the Regal app, typical me, and I saw this and I was like, frick it, let's go see it. This movie is like very interesting, and I think I had a very interesting time watching it. I was gonna say very good time. I think a generally good time. Definitely a generally good time watching this. Maybe like a really good time, actually. So it's basically about this like game show from the 80s, question mark, 70s even, question mark, 90s even, question mark. I think it's like right in the middle of that. I think it's 80s. 80s game show, and like this guy, he wins that game show. Like he's winning that game show. He like somehow cracked the system, cracked the code, and suddenly he's winning the game show. But at the same time, it's like we're seeing him, like the filming of it, we're seeing that happening, but then we're also seeing like behind the scenes, the higher ups, the executives and stuff, watching the taping of the show, like of the episode that this guy's like winning so much money on. Like they're watching it all happen like in real time, and they're like, what's happening? No one's ever won this much money. Like what? There's got to be some like conspiracy here. Like how is he winning this much? How is he this lucky? Like what's going on? And it's really interesting. Go freaking see Luckiest Man in America. This movie is going to go into mid, but like in a good way, and it's gonna go over Opus, and I'm sorry about it, Miss Iowa Debris, but I think I really like this movie a lot. Definitely a little more than Opus. Next up, I saw Warfare, which is a movie with all the hottest people you would ever think. But am I lying though? Is it not literally just a movie full of hot people? One may say I'm correct, like literally Joseph Quinn, literally Will Poulter, literally Charles Melton, literally that other guy that I know you, but I don't know how to say your name, and I like from Reservation Dogs, he's in this. That kid that was in Heartstopper, I don't know his name, but he's in this. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of pretty people, pretty hot people in this movie. That's warfare. But seriously, on a serious note, it's basically, I think Iraq War. There's this like, I don't know like army military speak, so I'm sorry, but it's like this team. We're just gonna say this team. This group of guys, all the hot people that I just said for you, they're like in a team. Wait, actually, they're not all in a team. Actually, I don't know how to explain this movie. It's Iraq War and we see war. That's this movie. We see them get attacked and they need backup and they need help, and that's this movie. And it's really intense, very action-packed. Like once the action starts, it does not end. All happens like within an hour. Like we're only seeing like 2 hours. Like there's no time jumps really. Like we don't see it next day. We see minute by minute, hour by hour of them being like attacked and like being trapped in this house and like they need to get out and they need backup and blah blah blah. Very intense, high intensity, scary. Joseph Quinn screaming throughout most of this movie, and yeah, very very good and very very real, raw. I love that. I love a war movie. I don't love a war movie actually, but if I am going to have to watch a war movie, army movie, whatever, I like that this feels realistic. I like that it doesn't feel like it's like glorifying it in any way. By any means does this movie like glorify war and like, oh, this is really cool and like you get to serve your country and you get to be a hero. It's like, no, this is real. I love how this movie does not like sugarcoat and like not make it look like, oh, so cool and so fun, like, oh, I get to play with guns. Like, no, this is real stuff and scary stuff. Guys, love not war. Love not war. Sorry. This is going to also go into mid-black in a good way, and right under Luckiest Man in America. Maybe like, but hot people, they should go higher. No, we're gonna stick there. Next up was The Wedding Banquet, and I thought this movie was going to be really good, and it was not. So basically this movie is like, we have the gay couple and we have the lesbian couple, and the lesbian couple wants to have a baby, but they don't really have a lot of money. But the gay couple is like, one guy, he's like a rich Korean dude that's like comes from like big money, and the other guy is Bowen Yang. Who's just a normal guy. So then suddenly the Korean guy, he's like, oh, I have to go back to Korea. Like my family like wants me to go back, blah, blah, blah. But I want to stay here because I love you, Bowen Yang character. So suddenly they're like, wait, the only way you can stay here is if you get married. So like one of the lesbian girls are like, okay, fine. We'll get married and you get to stay in the country and then you'll pay for us to have a baby. That's The Wedding Banquet. Honestly, great bones. Like, you know, the way I just described that, probably terrible, but at the same time, like, that's an interesting plot, wouldn't you say? But a lot of other things happen and the execution in this is like really weird and I kind of hated it. But at the same time, it's like, go watch this movie. Do watch this movie because representation matters. But this was mid, and I do mean that derogatorily. Definitely not like, leave me alone, I never want to see you again. I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it. Also, I don't want to say I hated it because the cinematography in this was beautiful. Like, it was a very beautiful movie. It was just, like, plot execution that was, like, not my vibe, to be honest. Next up, I watched The Ballad of Wallace, I'm pretty sure. The Ballad of Wallace Island, and this was, like, a generally good movie. Nothing too really to write home about. It's, like, a rom-com. Essentially, it's, like, this guy, he wants to get his band back together. He wants to get his favorite band back together. So he, like, secretly invites one half of the band and then the other half of the band to like try to get them back together again. Band is like a too big of a word, I guess. It's just like this like duo, like the guy and the girl, and like they were dating, and like they were in this band and they broke up, and then the band broke up, obviously their duo ship broke up. But my main guy here, his name is Charles, he really wants to get that band back together. Yeah, he kind of tricks them a little bit, but like in a sweet way. Honestly, this whole movie I was like, frame this a little differently, and this is a horror movie. Like, frame this a little differently, and suddenly Charles is a serial killer. Suddenly this isn't a rom-com and this is a horror movie. Honestly, because like he tricks them into coming onto his like island that he like lives on. It's not just him on this island, don't worry. It's like a whole like little like English countryside type of vibe, if you will. He invites them on, be like, guys, you're gonna play this like huge thing in town. It's actually just a concert for him. Creepy. Red flag number 1. They're also staying in his house. Like, frame this a little differently, and this movie is not a rom-com, and it's a horror movie. But in this case, it is a rom-com, and I generally liked her. I'm gonna put it... Oh, we're just landing somewhere. Honestly, sure. Wait, no. Yeah, I like that better. Next up, I watched On Swift Horses, which Daisy Edgar Jones, Will Poulter again. Wait, Will Poulter kind of having a star-studded year. He was also in 3 movies this year, maybe more. I think that was it, actually. Will Poulter's in this, Jacob Elordi's also in this, and yeah, Daisy Edgar Jones is married to Will Poulter. Suddenly Jacob Elordi comes in. I think he's his brother, but they don't look alike. So I'm like, wait, was that his brother, or was that just like a friend? But I feel like it was like brother. Whatever. Jacob Elordi character kind of comes in. First, you think it's gonna be like a will they won't they between Daisy Edgar Jones's character and Jacob Elordi's character, but no, actually they're both gay. So, well, it's really crazy. This movie was like the horniest movie I've ever seen, and I didn't expect that. Did not watch a trailer, kind of read a synopsis, but it definitely didn't say any of that. So maybe actually that's a spoiler, but also it's not really. But yeah, horniest movie ever, and a wild ride, one may say. A very wild ride. Did I like it though? Not really, but I'm not going to put it this low though. Maybe just like here. Actually, yeah, I think at the top of that though. I'm just thinking about the movie, I'm like, we really did like kind of everything, and I don't think I like that. Like we went all around the world, and it was crazy. It was just too crazy. Too many things were happening. That movie was just too crazy. Next up, I watched The Legend of Ochi, and this was a movie that was very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful movie, but I really did not like it. This is another kind of love-hurt situation where I'm like, I kind of want to leave, but it was so pretty that I was like, I have to stay, you know? Like, I want to leave, but this movie's so gorgeous that I just have to stay, even though I feel like we're saying nothing. So I stayed and did not have a good time, but the movie was very beautiful. Also, asked me to explain that movie, gun to the head, you're gonna have to shoot me, because I do not know. I have no idea how to explain this movie, so I'm not even gonna try, and we're going to put it at I do mean that derogatorily, and just drop it here. Sure, why not? It was very pretty. I just did not like anything else about it. Also, Finn Wolfhard's in this too. Also, Willem Dafoe's in this too. Also, there's like a young girl in this movie. She's really good too. Really great performance in that. Yeah. Anyway, next up I watched Thunderbolts. Woo! And this is the first movie of the year that I watched multiple times. I really wish, like I said, I wish I saw One of Them Days multiple times, but I doubly wish that I saw Mickey 17 a second time, but I didn't, and I don't know why I didn't, because I remember thinking, like, I should just go see this again, and I never did. Thunderbolts, on the other hand, I did see that twice in the movie theaters. First time, awesome. Second time, just as awesome. Not back to back, but a few weeks later. But Thunderbolts was so fun. I freaking loved Thunderbolts, man. Such a good freaking movie. We are so back, Marvel. We are so freaking back. I just love the vibe of this ensemble cast, this like ragtag group of like guys coming together, this ragtag group. Florence Pugh's character, the other lady that's from Ant-Man and the Wasp, the guy that played Captain America for like 2 seconds, like dollar store Captain America, basically. David Harbour's character, who's Florence Pugh's dad. Bob, who can forget about Bob? Like, such a good ensemble cast. I love like a frenemies to like suddenly we're like a found family situation. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I love the vibe so much, and I love this movie so much. I love Thunderbolts. Screaming it from the rooftops. I love Thunderbolts. So good. And what's this movie about? A ragtag group of kids that become family. They all hate each other, but suddenly they find themselves in each other and they stop evil in the world. I love Thunderbolts, long story short. And that's going to give this all accolades now, whatever. My top, I love you. Top movie of the year, I love you. Next up, I watched Pavements, and if you saw my 2024 ranking video, this was also in there, because I remember seeing that movie at a film festival last year, and now it finally got like some sort of like theatrical release, and this movie's so good. Me just basically regurgitating everything I said like last year about it. So good, perfect story. I know nothing about that band Pavement. It's basically like a biopic, but also like mockumentary style biopic, but also like a musical, but also like biopic movie, like with actors and stuff, about a band called Pavement. 90s band, 90s like alt indie rock type band. I knew absolutely nothing about the band Pavement before seeing this movie. The main reason I watched this movie was because Joe Keery's in it, Nat Wolff is in it, Fred Hetchinger's in it. Say less to me. But anyway, such a good movie. Editing's perfect. I love the story. Like, it's 3 different movies rolled into one. Alex Ross Perry, the director of this movie, like creator, whatever, I want to be inside of his brain, because the way he does this movie is so freaking good. It's actually It's insane. It's really insane, and it's so awesome, and I love this movie so much. I would go on a much longer tangent about pavements right now, but I'm not gonna do that because we should keep things moving, right? Right. So anyway, though, this is going to go in the same place that it did last year, and it's give this all the accolades now. And yeah. Next up, I watched Friendship with Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd, and I had a great time watching that movie. This movie was the first thing I ever watched with Tim Robinson. I must say that first, because the vibes of this movie is very Tim Robinson coded, and I didn't realize that until I watched The Chair Company like a few weeks ago. I'm like, oh, this is just his vibe. This is just his vibe, and I'm scared of you, but I'm also obsessed with it, you know? If you know Tim Robinson, you get what I mean. If you don't, go watch Friendship and then go watch The Chair Company. But thinking about Friendship specifically, first Tim Robinson thing I've ever seen, and I was gobsmacked. I was like, oh my god, this man's so scary, but like in a cool way. It's like I want to back away, but it's like a car crash you can't look away from. That's exactly what this movie kind of feels like at times. I'm like, oh my god, I'm looking, but I feel like I shouldn't be looking at this. A lot of like secondhand embarrassment, but like funny. What's this movie about? Friendship, male friendship, literally. Like, Tim Robinson character just wants a friend, and Paul Rudd's character is like so cool, and he's like, I want to be friends with you, you're so cool. And that's the movie. So let's rank her. I'm going to put it into maybe You Always Hold a Special Place in My Heart, because I watched this movie in the theater, and then I recently watched it on an airplane in like November, and like watching it that second time, I'm like, oh, this is so funny. This movie is so funny. I love this movie so much. It's like so good. So actually, yeah, I think I want to keep it in You Always Hold a Special Place in My Heart at the bottom, but still up there though. Next up, I watched The Phoenician Scheme. Wes Anderson asked me to explain that movie. Once again, gun to the head. You have to shoot me. I don't know. It's like this dad, and he thinks he's always trying to get assassinated. So like he's giving everything to his daughter. She's gonna inherit everything, but it's like an estranged daughter. So yeah. Father-daughter estranged relationship, basically. Honestly, that's the main thing I got out of this movie, is like the father-daughter relationship and how much it warms my soul. Everything else about this movie, aside from Michael Cera, he's also in this movie and has like a cute little like takes off the glasses, I'm so hot moment, which is really funny, and also kind of like knocks that movie up a few notches for me, honestly. And yeah, anything else about this movie? It's very Wes Anderson plotty. I don't know how to explain it. Sorry. But I did like this a lot. Of course, like such a beautiful movie. Like, to be a part of the art department on a Wes Anderson movie just seems so fun. Like, and also his cinematography always kills. Set design, production design always kills too. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Blah, blah, blah. Such a beautiful movie. So yeah, it's gonna go into mid, but like in a good way. Right under Opus. Or above Opus. Right there. Sure. Why not? I don't know anymore. I don't know. I've been filming for so long and I'm so tired, but I have so much left. Materialist. Didn't like this movie. Absolutely hated it. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Which makes me really sad because I love Celine's song, and then also Pedro Pascal's in this. Blah, blah, blah. But this movie I really did not like. It felt like emotional whiplash of like what vibe. Like I wish we could have stuck to a vibe and just vibed. Whatever, Materialist was a bad movie. Sorry to say it. Whatever. Next up, I saw Sinners, and it took me a long time to watch Sinners because it was a very wicked effect of like everybody and their mother's talking about Sinners. I want to be against the grain and not watch it, but eventually I did watch it, and I did have a good time watching it. It's a good movie, but at the same time, I'm not in love with it as other people are. I definitely can recognize that technical standpoint. Really good movie. I hope it does well this award season. I hope it is given the accolades that it deserves, like the cinematography and stuff. Score even, like sound is beautiful. Performances from like pretty much everyone was like really awesome in this, and yeah, but I'm gonna put it in mid, but like in a good way, because I just kind of don't care too much about this movie. Sorry, and that's blasphemy, and you hate me, for doing this. Sinners was good. Sinners was good. I just don't really love her. And I feel like bad saying that. I I didn't love it, but like I can recognize it's a good movie. Like I can recognize that. Moving on now. Me getting defensive for no reason. Next up, I watched Hot Milk, which was a terrible movie. Absolutely terrible movie. This is actually the worst movie I watched this year. Love Me was bad and I hated it. Love Hurts was bad and I hated it. A Completely Unknown was bad and I hated it. Materialist, I bad and hated it. But Hot Milk was the worst movie that I saw this year. So crazy. The ending of that movie is absolutely wild. Emma Mackey's in it, from Sex Education. Love her. But what was the script? I need to say. So this movie is basically like, I think they're in Spain. It's like a mother and daughter. They're in Spain because this mother has like this weird condition. Like they're trying to go to like a bunch of different doctors to see how they can like cure her or whatever. Like she can't walk, but like nobody knows why she can't walk. She just can't walk for some reason. And like the daughter's like, oh, I have to be your caretaker because you can't walk and like I need to help you and blah blah blah. And like it's just kind of like a tumultuous relationship. Like there's definitely like resentment building, but like Emma Mackey's character is not yelling at her mom or like being like, I hate this, I don't want to be your caretaker, I want to go live my own life, blah blah blah. But like we can see the tension building throughout most of this movie, and then a crazy ending happens that I was not prepared for, and you won't be prepared for it either. Anyway, next up I watched Superman. And this is the movie where I had to sit so close to the freaking screen. It was actually scary. I felt like I was about to get warped into Nicholas Holt's bald head in this movie. I felt like I was about to get sucked into his bald head. I felt like I was going to get hypnotized by David Corenswet's, sure, maybe that's how you say his name. I felt like I was going to get hypnotized by his blue eyes. It was crazy. I was literally like in row 2, staring up at the screen. Everything was so close. It was so jarring. I had a headache for the rest of the day after watching that movie. Superman's an awesome movie though. That was a really great movie. I do not care about superheroes. That's actually a bold-faced lie. I love me some Marvel. I just do not care really about DC. I'm not gonna lie about that. However, the James Gunn takeover, I could maybe get down for that because this movie was so good. Great movie. We love Superman. Superman gets canceled in this movie. He has a little redemption arc. Rachel Brosnahan, what's her name? Oh my gosh, Lucy? No. Lois Lane in this. I loved Lois Lane's character. I made a whole video about Superman. Go watch that if you want. Next up was Eddington. Oh, Fantastic Four. That was another Pedro Pascal movie that he was in this year. He was in 4. Good for him. So Freaky Tales, Materialist, Eddington, Fantastic Four. Good for him. Weird tangent right there. Next up, Eddington. I did not care about Eddington. As in, like, I was interested to watch it because, like, Emma Stone's also in it. Pedro Pascal's in it. Joaquin Phoenix. I didn't really care about him, but, like, I know he can perform down. Like, he's a good actor in that sense. I knew how long it was, and I was kind of scared about that length. Did it feel that long? Yes, it freaking did. Spoiler for Eddington coming up in 3, 2, 1. Sorry. The moment that Pedro Pascal's character dies in this movie, I was like, okay, the movie's over. So the movie's over now, I can leave. But in fact, there was still an hour and a half left, which was really awesome. Note the sarcasm. Eddington is about like COVID and like Mayor Pedro Pascal versus Sheriff Joaquin Phoenix, and there's a come to blows and we're fighting blah 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 in this small town in New Mexico, Arizona, somewhere deserty there. That's Eddington. We're just gonna go mid, and I do mean that derogatorily, but we'll put it there because of Emma Stone and Pedro Pascal. Next, we had a movie called Don't Let's Go to the Dogs Tonight, and this movie is about I don't know how to explain it, actually. It's like a memoir. It's based off a memoir. It's basically like this family in an African country, this white family in an African country. They live on this farm, and it's mainly about this like young girl and her like kind of like growing up on this farm and like her vibe on this farm. And the young girl in this movie is so freaking good. Great actress. Like, she's so good. Gives the performance of a lifetime, and she's only like 7. This will go into mid, but like in a good way again, but I'm gonna put it in there. And then I feel like I need to switch this. I don't know why, but somebody's just telling me to switch this right now. So I'm going to do that. Next up, I watched Fantastic Four First Steps. Or is it The Fantastic Four First Steps? No, Fantastic Four The First Steps? I don't know. Whatever. I watched the Fantastic Four movie. Moss-Bachrach, Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn, Vanessa Kirby. Scary CGI Baby also is in this movie. I remember watching this movie, and I thought I was going to like it a lot more than I did. And I think I was like wrongfully like comparing it to Thunderbolts because I was thinking about how I came out after watching Thunderbolts, like how much I loved Thunderbolts from like the get-go. And this movie, I wanted that same feeling, but I didn't get that same feeling. I did really like Fantastic Four though. I did really like this movie. I'm really interested to see where things go from here because this is definitely just like a general setup of like vibes, I feel like. So I'm really excited to see where our Fantastic Four go. We're gonna put it in mid, but like in a good way, but above Superman because Marvel, and I do have to pledge loyalty loyalty and allegiance. My allegiance and my loyalties will always be to Marvel. Sorry about it. Next up, I saw Oh Hi. Oh Hi. This is another movie I saw twice. This movie was fun. Another silly, fun movie that shouldn't be taken seriously. It's basically about this guy and this girl, Molly Gordon and Logan Lerman. They're like dating, at least from her eyes. They're like boyfriend and girlfriend. They've been dating for like 6 months at this point. And they go on this like little romantic getaway for the weekend, and they find like handcuffs and like a bunch of like BDSM stuff like in the closet, and they're like, ooh, we should like play around with that. So they play around with that. They have like sexy times, whatever. And then she's like, oh, I'm so glad like this weekend's like going so well for us, you know, our first weekend as a couple, like BFGF, like I'm so glad like everything's so good so far. And Logan Lerman's character is like, we are not BFGF, like I am not looking for anything serious. And she's like, you're literally my boyfriend. What are you talking about? Why are we on a romantic getaway together if we're not like serious, if this is not like a relationship? And he's like, this isn't a relationship. I don't want anything serious, blah, blah, blah. At this point, he's already handcuffed to the bed because they're like doing the, like I said, some sexy times, whatever, and blah, blah, blah. He's already handcuffed to the bed because of that. And she's like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna leave you handcuffed to this bed until I can prove to you that we should be in a relationship. Women. Hashtag just girly things. Hashtag I stand with her. Hashtag good for her. Hashtag she should have killed that man. I'm kidding, but that's really funny. That's really funny. And this movie's so funny and fun. You will always hold a special place in my heart. I love a fun movie, and honestly, above friendship. Thank you very much. Okay, next up I watched a movie called She Rides Shotgun, which is another movie with like a young actress that like is so good. Also, Taron Egerton is also in this movie, and he's really good too. It's basically another like father-daughter relationship actually. So the father was in jail and he just got out of jail, and like he has like these people like coming for him and like attacking him. So he like gets his daughter, and then like they kind of like go on the run so they can like run away from these people that are like trying to get him, like this gang from in the prison. It's like the gang in the prison, but they also have like people outside and whatever. So like the people that are outside but also part of that gang are like trying to come for him and like kill him and kill his family and his daughter specifically. That's She Rides Shotgun, and this was a really good movie. Was pleasantly surprised watching this, and it's gonna go quite high for me, honestly. Next up, I watched Freakier Friday, and whatever, I didn't like that. We didn't need it. We didn't need Freakier Friday. Freaky Friday is just such a perfect movie. We did not need to do it again. We did not need to run that back. Yeah, that's all I want to say about that. Next up, I watched a movie called Sorry Baby, and this is actually my favorite movie of the year. This is my favorite movie of the year. Eva Victor, they are so good. This movie is so good. Eva Victor plays like the main character in this movie, and they also wrote and directed this movie. And I do have a thing where I like hate when people are directing a movie and they're also like starring in the movie, but that opinion has been thrown in the trash because Eva Victor has just changed the whole game for me personally. Like, they're so good. This movie is so good. So this movie is basically about this girl named Agnes who like goes through a very traumatic experience, and we're kind of going through the years, but it's also like a non-linear timeline, but in a good way. My favorite movie of the year, and it's going at the top of Give This All Accolades now, and I really hope it does. Next, I watched a movie called Relay. Riz Ahmed. Oh, what's that girl's name? I was like, Daisy Jones. Who's that? Daisy Ridley. Who's that? Lily James, that's her name. She's in this, and it's a really interesting movie. It's like this cat and mouse thriller movie where like Riz Ahmed's character is like helping like people from like their companies that are trying to like kill them. I don't know if kill them's the right word. Like the person that he's helping is like an employee of a company that they're about to like whistle blow for. Like they're about to like blow the lid off this place, whatever. And then the company like starts harassing the employee and stuff, like firing them and doing like other like genuine like harassment things to them. And then suddenly the employee's like, actually I don't want to whistle blow anymore, I just want this all to go away. So then they go to Riz Ahmed's character, and he like helps fix the situation, gets the documents back to the company, make sure the company doesn't harass the person anymore, blah blah blah. So essentially Lily James's character goes to Riz Ahmed for that reason, and then it's like a whole cat and mouse situation there. Once again, for the umpteenth millionth time, literally counter on how many times I say I just explained that terribly. But Relay's such a good movie. Literally another one of my like top movies of the year, because it was such a we'll keep it there. It was like a random like find. I just, once again, scrolling on my Regal app, and I was like, what's this? Looks interesting. Went to see it. had an awesome time. It was so good. So randomly good. Next up was a movie called The Roses. Benedict Cumberbatch, Olivia Colman. Personally had a good time. It's a remake of the movie War of the Roses, I think. I never saw the original, so I just saw this one, and it was good. It's basically about this like married couple that's like really toxic to each other. Like they're always fighting and like arguing and stuff. But at the same time, it's like charming. Like they're toxic, but like in a charming way. Like they're toxic to each other and like yelling and arguing, and then the next, like they're laughing and like, ugh, we're so good together. I love you, babe. Toxic, but charmingly so. And maybe that's like the Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman effect. But I don't know. I like this movie. I absolutely hated the ending, though. Go watch the movie, go watch the ending, then report back to me and let's talk about that in the comments below, because that ending was freaky, deaky, crazy. Whoa. Anyway, though, it's gonna go with mid, but like in a good way. But like... there. Really fun movie. Really fun and funny, silly, goofy. I like that a lot. Next up was Twinless. Twinless with Dylan O'Brien and then another guy who's the main guy, who then I realized like another situation of like you're starring in this movie but you're also directing it. It's that guy. I can't think of his name, but you see him in the poster, the one that's not Dylan O'Brien, obviously. This movie is really good. I really enjoyed this a lot, actually. And how do I explain it? So Dylan O'Brien had a twin, and then his twin died, so he goes to like this twin support group, and that's where he meets the other main character in this, because the other guy, he also had a twin that died, and then they kind of like develop a friendship from there. A lot of crazy things happen, awesome plot twists. Great movie. There is like a moment where we see Dylan O'Brien's twin, like in like some flashbacks or whatever. So it's like Dylan O'Brien playing the twin, and the twin is gay. And then we see Dylan O'Brien with like a gay accent. And that was jarring. But that's acting, I guess. It was really jarring. Anyway, I am going to put this in You Always Hold a Special Place in My Heart. This movie was really good. Honestly, like there. Next up, I watched a movie called Lurker, which was another really good one. This movie was so interesting and really crazy. That one's like, it's basically Archie's character is a musician, and then the other main guy in this, his name is Theodore Pellerin. I think that's how you say it. I think I might have butchered that. But the other main character in this, he's like a fan, but like he infiltrates his way into like Archie's world by not like being a fan. Theo's character like works at a clothing store, a really high-end clothing store in LA, and then Archie's character is like coming in to shop, and Archie's like, come to my concert tonight, man, like come on down, like blah blah blah. It'd be nice to have somebody that's like not like obsessed with me there. Little does he know. So yeah, he goes to the concert, and then like he's like, yeah, I do like video recording and stuff. And he's like, oh dude, you should like come around, like maybe like record some stuff. And yeah, he like slowly like infiltrates his world, and then it all goes awry from there. Sure, let's go with that word. But I really like this movie, so I'm gonna put it quite high. We'll put it there. But it's also a movie that really scared me and left me feeling very empty after watching it. Very empty. This movie, ouch. Ouch. Next up, I saw a movie called The Balti-morons. It's basically about this like comedy guy, and he meets this lady who's a dentist because like he breaks his tooth like on Christmas. I think it's Christmas, or is it Thanksgiving? We'll pretend it's Thanksgiving. He chips a tooth, or maybe it's Christmas. Oh, I don't remember. But like he chips a tooth, and like he has to go to the dentist, and like this dentist lady's like working on whatever holiday this is, and suddenly they kind of like form like a little friendship, and things spur from there. Cool. This movie was like okay, like mid, but like in a good way, and at the bottom. Next up, I saw Spinal Tap. I saw Spinal Tap, the latest one that came out. I did a whole video about Spinal Tap of like me watching the other movies. I thought there were 2 other movies, but it was actually just one other movie, my bad. Watching those in preparation for seeing this one in the theaters and whatever. I made a whole video about it. I love Spinal Tap, especially this one. Like I think I like this second movie that just came out more than like that first one, for reasons that you can go hear about in my video that I made about it, because I don't remember. Don't ask me to try to regurgitate thoughts that I already had. I can't. But I do know that I really did like the second Spinal Tap movie. It was so good, so fun. I love the jokes. I love a mockumentary. Oh, so good. Also, shout out Rob Reiner. Rest in peace, you goat. You freaking goated, man. Oh, I love the jokes specifically in this movie a lot too. Like them performing with Elton John and then getting crushed by the Stonehenge. getting crushed by the Stonehenge. Elton John getting crushed by the Stonehenge, and then they all end up in the hospital at the end. Oh my god, it's so funny. So Spinal Tap is basically kind of Pavements coded. It's like a mockumentary type of vibe. Mockumentary about this band, but this band actually doesn't exist. This band called Spinal Tap actually doesn't exist. And yeah, funny British dudes having a good time. Rob Reiner's like the director of the mockumentary or documentary. Great movies. Go watch them all. This is going into You Will Always Hold a Special Place in My Heart, and it's going at the top. Next up, I saw a movie called Eleanor the Great. I think Scarlett Johansson's directorial debut. You can fact check me on that, but I think it is. I did not like this movie. It was a really crazy vibe. So essentially, this woman named Eleanor who has this friend who was a part of the Holocaust. Her friend died, and suddenly she starts pretending to be her friend that died in the Holocaust. It's much more complicated than that and a little bit more like, I want to say like nuanced than that, but I don't think it's more nuanced than that. It's basically that, but it's not as like menacing as that, I think. But it's still pretty like, what are you doing, girl? Somebody mistakes her for like that being her story, and it's like, we could have just fixed this from the gate, bro. Like, you didn't have to go along with this like mistake. Like, you could have just corrected them, and then we wouldn't have a movie. I guess if she corrected them, then we wouldn't have a movie. So what am I saying? You need to do the bad thing because then there's plot. There you go. Anyway, though, I did not like this movie. I didn't hate it, though, so we'll just put it at the bottom of mid, and I do mean that derogatorily. Next up, I saw a movie called Good Boy, which is about, like, a dog. It's literally just, like, dog POV. Dog POV, horror movie, dog POV. That's all you know about that movie, and it's so good. Actually, no, it's not, like, so good, but just, like, hearing the story behind that movie is what makes it, like, so good. The owner of the dog and, like, his wife, they made this movie together over the course of, like, years. They only filmed when the dog was like in the mood to film. They did it like in their house, and it's just, oh, like that's what cinema is about. Like this movie, watching this movie in the theater because it randomly got a theatrical release because the trailer came out and everybody was like gobsmacked by it. I personally didn't see the trailer, but I like read the synopsis and I was like, oh, this sounds like so interesting. I'm glad it's getting a theatrical release. Finding out all that information about it like in the theater, because there's like a little featurette like after the movie's over and like you see all that information. I'm just like, that's what cinema's about. Like you're doing it for fun. It's like a passion project in a way. And then suddenly it just becomes like a huge thing for like kind of no reason, but like because all the people are like seeing the love in this and like seeing like the coolness to it. Kind of hate that word, but I can't think of another one right now. It's just like, that's what cinema's about. That's what cinema's about, baby. I love it. And it is going to go into It Will Always Hold a Special Place in My Heart at the bottom of it, though. Next up, I saw After the Hunt, and I honestly can't form coherent thoughts about anything anymore. But Iowa Debris in this movie, Andrew Garfield's in this movie, Julia Roberts in this movie, star-studded cast, if you will. The movie itself, I kind of degaff. I don't really care. I don't really remember. Honestly, I did kind of like how every character was pretty morally gray. I remember coming out of the theater thinking that. Other than that, though, like the plot and stuff, it did feel like a little too like read between the linesy for me. And then also it like takes place in like academia, and I'm stupid. So a lot of stuff kind of went over my head. Like we were talking about like philosophical questions and like morals and ethics, but like super like academic type of way, morals and ethics. So a lot of this I did feel like, am I smart enough to watch this movie? No. I'm kidding. Also, I don't know what I'm saying. Whatever. This movie was like fine. It was fine, but I'm gonna put it in mid, and I do mean that derogatorily, but at the top of it because it wasn't super bad to me. Next up, I saw a movie called Good Fortune. Seth Rogen, Keanu Reeves, Aziz Ansari. Another situation, Aziz Ansari starring in the movie, and then he also directed it. I think maybe even wrote it too. I don't know. This movie was a weird time. This was like a really weird time watching this movie because I thought I didn't like it, and then suddenly we got to like the second act or something like midway through, and then I was like, whoa. Why is this movie so awesome? Why is the movie so good? Why is Keanu Reeves awesome? Why is Seth Rogen awesome? Why is there like a duo happening between Seth Rogen and Keanu Reeves that's like really awesome to me? What's happening? How did this movie suddenly flip on its head? Also, Keke Palmer's in this movie too, which was a fun, pleasant surprise. What's this movie about? It's like basically commentary on like poor versus rich, gig economy. Keanu Reeves plays an angel that's like trying to save Aziz Ansari's life by being like, hey, you're poor, but like there's more to life than being poor. He's like, is there though? He's like, yeah, like watch, you'll be rich for a day and you won't even care, like you'll want your old life back. He becomes rich for a day and he's like, actually I don't want my old life back, and instead he tries to stay in that life. Whose life is it? It's Seth Rogen's life. So he just took over Seth Rogen's life, and now Seth Rogen is poor, and it's like a whole thing, commentary on capitalism and classism and blah 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 blah. Commentary on that, but make it funny, you know what I mean? This movie was mid, but like in a good way, and we're gonna drop ya like whoa, what's happening? Oh my gosh. That was scary. We're gonna drop ya like like after the roses. What's happening? Yeah, we'll put you there. Sure, why not? Next up, I saw St. Elmo's Fire. It's a movie from 1985, so I think it was like 40-year anniversary. Is that math correct? Sure. I've been interested to see this movie for like a hot little minute, but I just never got around to it. And then suddenly like the anniversary came around and then they were doing a reissuing of it. So I was like, okay, I'll go finally see this movie. This movie's really bad. Oh my gosh, this movie's really bad. It's all over the place plot-wise. Like, it genuinely felt like I was watching a sequel to a movie. The way we just jumped into like things happening, I'm supposed to just like play catch up and like catch on to what's going on. I was literally in the theater and I had to pull out my phone and Google this movie and make sure that I wasn't accidentally watching a second, like I wasn't watching the sequel. This is like just a standalone thing, but it's so confusing and we do so much in so little time, but at the same time it feels too long and then I just was confused. This movie's just so bad. And yeah, there you go. Next up, I saw Corpse Bride. First time I ever saw that. This movie was like fine. I don't know. It was fine. Glad I finally got around to watching it. And yeah, I don't know. Mid, but like in a good way. And we're just gonna drop you somewhere. I think I'm just gonna leave you there. Oh my gosh, moving on into like a beautiful trifecta. These next 3 movies, oh, I'm so excited to rank them. Also, like, look at the posters for these. Like, why are they all kind of like same vibe coded? Anyway, the next movie I saw in theaters was Begonia. Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, other guy whose name I'm forgetting, but he was really great too. All the performances in this movie was so good, especially from like the 3 main people in it. I love Begonia. And I also saw this movie 2 times too. I saw it a second time, and that second time watching it made me realize like how good Jesse Plemons is in this movie. I was like, whoa, he is so good in this. So good. Emma Stone's awesome too. And like I said, the other guy is really awesome too, whose name I'm literally forgetting, and I'm sorry about that. But yeah, Begonia is so awesome. And I must say, Begonia spoiler coming up ahead in 3, 2, 1. I'm sorry. If the world is gonna end, I truly hope it ends in a Begonia type of way. Like, it literally just ended. Like, there was no like fanfare, no like mass destruction. Like, it was just over in a second. And if the world is gonna end, I really hope it happens like that. It's just over, you know? Anyway though, Begonia, give us all accolades now. I love it. I'm gonna drop you right there. Probably my favorite Yorgos movie that I've seen. Ooh, but Poor Things though. Honestly, okay, I think it's like Poor Things, Begonia. Actually, wait, maybe I like Begonia more. Oh my gosh, do I like Begonia more than Poor Things? I don't know, but I definitely like Begonia more than Kinds of Kindness. I will say that with my full chest. Next up, I saw If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, and all I need to say about this movie is Rose freaking burn. She's like a mom, and there's just so much stress going on in her life. That's all you really need to know about If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. And the second thing you need to know about it is how good Rose Byrne is in this movie. And she's gonna get snubbed this awards season, which is so sad to say. So sad to hear. I hope I'm humbly proven wrong. This movie itself is like a bit too wild at times, if that makes sense, and like the things we do in the plot is like a bit too crazy for me and a bit like, wait, what? But then at the same time, it's like the way Rose Byrne's character like reacts to like the crazy situation she's put in makes it like all feel okay, if that makes sense. Probably not, but whatever. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You is going to go into You Always Hold a Special Place in My Heart, but actually right after Twinless, and yeah, I like that. Next up, I saw Die My Love. Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson. They're basically a couple in the middle of nowhere. They have a baby, and she's just kind of going through like motherhood and like the early stages of motherhood, kind of, because I don't think the baby is like super old. I think it's like not even 1. I think it's like 6 months where we see the movie. Jennifer Lawrence gives a really awesome performance in this movie. There was a weird plot point with like Lakeith Stanfield and Jennifer Lawrence that I didn't get at all, but other than that, I think it was good. Where's this movie gonna go though? Her performance is really great. I don't want to like not highlight that enough. Her performance is really, really good. I'm gonna drop it here. Next up, I saw The Running Man, Glenn Powell. It's based off a Stephen King novel, which I didn't know until after I watched the movie, and I was like, well, that's very interesting to see. I kind of liked it more than I thought I would. It's like a super action adventure movie, and I'm not super into those a lot of the time. Me loving Mickey 17, but also being like, I don't really like action and adventure. Contradictions. I'm a contradictions, mess of contradictions. What else is new? Almost like Fast and Furious type action adventure. That's what I thought it was. But honestly, it was like kind of a vibe. I didn't hate that movie. Glenn Powell plays a super like angry man, and that was like interesting in a way. This movie's fine, whatever. Mid, and like in a good way though, but like not super high. Like there, sure. Why not? Next up, I saw Rental Family with Brendan Fraser, and he plays like a actor in Japan, and he's like, you know, trying to make it big as an actor, but then he becomes part of this like agency that like pretends to be people for people, if that makes sense. Like, oh, if you want to hire a boyfriend for a day to be like in front of your family, like you can hire this actor and blah blah blah. So like he gets a part of that, and then suddenly like one of the jobs is him having to pretend to be this girl's father to help her get into like this private school. Like her mom set it up to help her get into this private school. It's like a whole thing. Like he develops a relationship with the girl, and it's like actually like sweet, another sweet like father-daughter moment, but like the girl doesn't know it's fake, and it's like a whole thing. And yeah, and there's also this other plot in the movie where he's like pretending to be a journalist for this like out of work like actor, like old actor guy. The guy's daughter hired him to like be the journalist because the daughter's like, oh, he's feeling really sad right now because he doesn't think anybody like cares about him and his legacy, so like can you pretend to be a journalist and say that you're writing a story about his life and like pretend to care and blah blah blah. So that's like another little plot point in this movie that I didn't know was gonna happen. Like I knew about the father-daughter stuff, but like I feel like that other plot point wasn't highlighted enough, and I feel like it should have been highlighted more because that was really interesting. Anyway though, Rental Family was a sweet little movie that's going to go in mid, but like in a good way, but like there, sure, that feels okay to me, I think. Next up, I saw Eternity, and this movie, I loved it. I genuinely loved it, and I think it was mainly because of Divine Joy Randolph. She was awesome in this. Loved her hair, loved her vibe, loved absolutely everything about her in this movie. She's so good. Generally, she's so good, and in this movie, she's so awesome. Also, I really liked the vibes. Like, Miles Teller was really good in this. Elizabeth Olsen, too. Callum Turner. Also, my nose is itching so much. Callum Turner, I think his name is. I don't know. Everybody in this movie was really good, honestly, and I really liked this movie a lot. It was very funny. It was very, very funny, and I didn't expect that. I thought it was just gonna be like more rom than calm, but honestly it was more calm than rom, and I really wanted to see this movie 2 times or like a second time in the theaters, but I didn't get around to it. Once it starts streaming, I'm gonna be on there. Anyway though, this is going to go into You Always Hold a Special Place in My Heart. Actually, we'll put you there. And also I'm changing Lurker and putting that here. Next up, I saw The Thing with Feathers, and that has Benedict Cumberbatch in it, and he's like a grieving father, and there's also 2 sons, and it's just kind of like a movie about grief, but grief is like in the form of a crow, and also the crow in this is like super scary. It's like talking to him, and it's like a very interesting movie. Horror, kind of like supernatural, sci-fi-y in a way. Maybe not sci-fi, maybe just like supernatural. Very interesting commentary on grief, I'll give it that, and also a little bit scary. I was kind of scared to see this movie because it did say horror in it, but then I like read the synopsis and I was like, oh, I really do want to see this though. So I saw it. It was a bit scary and kind of like jarred me a little bit, but I am glad I saw it. It was very interesting and very, I don't want to say lovely, but I just really liked the way it talked about grief and stuff. And also we don't just see him going through the grief, we also see the 2 sons too, and like how they're coping with like their mom dying, and it's just like ouch. It's going to go in mid, but like in a good way though, but it's gonna go like everything's blending together and I have no idea where to put things, and that seems like, oh, actually there, that feels better for me. Cool. The second to last movie on this list that I saw was Hamnet, and I was absolutely devastated by this movie. Holy crap, I did not know where this was going. I did not know. I think I saw like a trailer, but like the trailer gave nothing, which I love. It was like one of those like I think it was like in the movie seeing something else, and like this trailer came up and I didn't really know what it was like trying to tell me, and I'm so glad about that because I did not see anything coming. Absolutely, I did not see what happened in this movie coming, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you because you should go freaking see this movie. I was devastated, absolutely devastated in that theater that was like kind of packed and full of like a bunch of old people randomly, and I was bawling my eyes out in that freaking theater. Oh my god, this movie's so good. Jessie Buckley, performance of a lifetime, freaking lifetime. Give her the Oscar right now, even though I did say Rose Byrne needs to be recognized, like, and she should be nommed, but Jessie freaking Buckley, like, oh my gosh, start engraving now, please, start engraving her name on that right freaking now. Even Paul Mescal, he's really good in this too, and I feel like he's kind of getting overlooked a little bit. Also, the kids in this movie, so good. Ugh, Hamnet. How do I explain this? I can't. And I'm not gonna try. Anyway, this is Give This All the Accolades Now. I'm scrolling so slow, sorry. Right under Sorry Baby though. Sorry Baby is still my movie of 2025 personally. Sorry Baby is so freaking good. And finally we have our last movie here, and it's Ella McKay. Emma Mackey's in this. Jamie Lee Curtis is in this. There's a little Iowa debris sprinkle in this. I had low expectations for this movie. I was forced to watch a trailer for it when I was like watching some other movie, and watching the trailer I was like, this looks terrible, like I really don't have to see this, but Iowa Debris in it, so maybe I do have to see it, and I did. And honestly, this movie was actually good. It was actually perfectly fine. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. There's like so much stuff that happens in this, and it only happens over like the course of like 3 days, which is really crazy. So it's basically like this girl, Ella McKay, she becomes the governor of the state. We don't know what state they're in, actually. They never say it. She suddenly becomes the governor of the state, and like she's trying to like deal with that, but then also like there's a scandal happening involving her, and it's like talking about that and blah 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 blah. Anyway, Ella McKay is gonna go maybe like in a good way, but like here or no, yes, there. And that's freaking that, and we're freaking done. I ranked all these movies, and I've been recording for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Holy crap. Here's the final ranking. I refuse to change anything. Whatever my gut said is what my gut said. And here it is in its full glory. All the movies that I watched in theaters this year. Here it is. Here's everything. This is how I feel about the movies that I watched this year. Thank you for watching. See you in 2026. Bye-bye. Bye. Woo!